Stuart from Stuart's Gardens in Simonstown. It's now midwinter. It's really cold and blowy and windy, as you can see. And although it's the middle of winter, it's now the time to start the spring garden. This garden occupies a very fortunate position. The house and surrounding walls provide shelter from the powerful winds that sometimes sweep through Simonstown Bay. These winds were feared by ancient mariners, who once called this region the Cape of Storms. Yet, despite the winter weather, the garden enjoys 6 to 8 hours of sunlight during spring and summer and well into autumn. And even in midwinter, the sun shines through. Nestled between the fynbos-covered mountains of the Cape Peninsula and the sea, it provides an ideal environment for growing fruit, vegetables and herbs. As you can see, the garden consists of several distinct sections. At the back lies the raised bed garden. In the middle is the container area, and in the front is the fruit tree area. This is the raised bed area, consisting of 4 beds, built using the Hügelkultur method, which I will define in following videos in this series. It's cold. I haven't paid very much attention to this garden, but I am waiting for these tomatoes and other vegetables and herbs to finish their growing season, at which stage I will remove them and start cleaning up the whole raised bed area. I did not do anything after our last video a week or so ago, and today I decided to just walk in and see how the garden was going, and to my surprise it seems as if this raised bed garden just doesn't want to believe in winter. Although these determinate tomatoes should theoretically have stopped producing a month or so ago, they just keep going. And similarly, these herbs, they just keep going. And these aroma tomatoes also just keep going. Tomatoes, you're not supposed to grow in winter. This is midwinter. Okay, I guess I better harvest these tomatoes. I think this will really be the end of it, but why not? I'll just let the garden carry on doing its thing of producing edible fruit. We are now entering the container garden. Although it occupies a relatively small area, it is one of the busiest and most productive parts of the garden. Because every plant grows in its own container, each one requires individual attention. Watering, feeding, pruning, repotting and seasonal care all have to be carefully planned. In this section, I grow a wide variety of fruit. And this is the orange tree. And as you can see, there's still oranges growing. These are navel oranges. And this is the size of the last one that I took off this tree. Even in the middle of winter, the container garden continues to produce fresh vegetables. This demonstrates that food production doesn't simply stop because the weather turns colder. I also enjoy growing soft fruits. They may occupy only a small space, but they reward us with delicious harvests throughout the season. Here you can see gooseberries and strawberries beginning another year's journey. We now come to the fruit tree garden. Unlike the vegetable beds and container garden, this is a place where time is measured in years rather than weeks. Each tree reflects seasons of growth, careful pruning, patient maintenance, and in return, the pleasure of harvesting delicious fruit. Let's have a look at what is growing here in the middle of winter. The guava trees are still producing heavily. They provide far more fruit than my friends and I can possibly eat fresh. So I preserve much of the harvest by making delicious stewed guavas and bottling them to enjoy throughout the year. The fig tree has just completed another abundant season. There are still a few ripe figs to enjoy, but its attention now turns to winter pruning. That will be one of the first projects Emmanuel and I will tackle as we prepare for spring. Hereby the papaya and pawpaw trees continue to produce their beautiful tropical fruit, adding another dimension to the garden. The pomegranate tree is now ready for its annual pruning. And here is the peach tree, which has rewarded us with excellent harvests over the past 2 years. It will soon receive its winter pruning to encourage another productive year. So this is my garden as it stands today in the middle of winter, the starting point for another growing season. Over the coming months I hope you will join Emmanuel and me as we prepare each section for spring, sharing both challenges and the satisfaction of growing healthy, nourishing food. Gardening is a continual journey for learning, adapting and caring for the living world around us. There are always new lessons to discover and new rewards to enjoy. So this is where the story begins. Let's see what happens as spring unfolds. Thank you for watching. I look forward to welcoming you back for the next episode.